you like what you see, don't forget to smash that like button, share it, or subscribe. For all the latest Atlas info, sign up for our newsletter, shop.atlasrr.com. And don't forget to follow us on social media on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. And most importantly, enjoy the show.
Hello, everybody. Good evening, and welcome to the special HO Scale in-stock spotlight from Atlas Model Railroad Company. I'm going to be your host, Andy Edelman, and with me today is Ross and Matt from Atlas. It looks like Matt is working from his basement, and Ross may be putting in extra hours at the office unless he's got a layout in his basement. Anyway, thanks for joining me, guys. It's good to be here tonight with everybody. Hopefully everybody's excited about a list of some HO in-stock cars that we're going to focus on tonight. A couple trivia questions, some pretty neat stuff to look at. I'm going to throw some questions out at Matt and Ross. Ross is going to monitor our comments. So if folks have questions, by all means, throw them out there, and we'll do our best to get to them. We're going to try to keep it under an hour because some of us have things to do. I know that Matt's got a particularly important thing later. So we'll try to move along here as quickly as we can. Guys, you want to start off? Ross, tell us. I don't think anybody knows who you are. So why don't you tell us who you are and what's going on with your side of the business?
All righty. I'm Ross. I'm the new sales account executive with Atlas Model Railroad Co. Inc. You'll see me at a lot of the shows upcoming. York with Matt, actually, and yourself, right?
And yourself.
All right, the trifecta. So you'll see me at York. Come on down, and we'll shoot the breeze on some O-scale engines.
Very nice.
And Matt, reintroduce yourself. I'm sure most of our HO fans know who you are. You've been doing a lot of shows over the years. Tell us a little bit more about things.
I'm familiar to most people. I'm a project manager at Atlas as well as a social media manager. So I do a little bit of everything over there. And we're pleased to show you guys the in-stock offerings we got today. And just,
excellent. So, Ross, I just have one question. The York show, that's the O-Gauge TCA show that happens every April and October in beautiful York, Pennsylvania. Is that going to be your first show, or have you done some other shows already?
I just did the NMRA show in Texas with Drew, which was a blast. It was incredibly hot down there. First time in Texas. This will be my first York show, so I'm pretty excited for it.
Well, our HO fans are not a lot of HO at York. Some of them come. There's a lot of crossover folks in the hobby. York is nothing like what you saw at NMRA, so I'll just prepare you for that. And there's good people that go there, great customers. I've been involved with the O-scale side of the business for years. So you'll have a good time with that. But welcome to Atlas and welcome to the hobby. You've been a hobbyist, I believe, so this isn't all totally new for you. But the business side is different. So welcome aboard.
Thanks.
All right. Well, let's get some things started then, folks. The products that we're going to focus on are all in stock. And Matt, if I say something wrong, just jump in there. But they're all in stock and available from Shop Atlas or through your local Atlas retailer. So if you see something that's out there that we're focusing on, by all means, quantities aren't huge. So get on your horse and get them ordered because these products won't last very long. Okay, I'm going to attempt to switch to a video. And what we're going to start off with is the Master HO 5250 covered hopper. And this particular item is available in 5 different road names and comes with a whole bunch of features. And I've only tapped on a few here, but folks can see what's going on with those. Matt, tell us about this car.
Oh yeah, this car is it's just ridiculous, to put it simply. It's I think we got 5 or 6 different body variations. We got the gravity outlets for grain use, and we have the pneumatic outlets for the plastic pellet service. This car was very versatile, and it's premier. Like when it first hit the rails, they used it for everything from plastic pellets to dry flow products to grain to corn to feed. You think of it, it probably hauled it. Anything that needed to be dry and could be hauled in volume, they put it. Was supposed to be the generic do all, say like everything hopper, do everything under the sun. Unfortunately for American Car and Foundry, it didn't pan out that way, but we still see them hit on the rails today, hauling plastic pellets and all sorts of carloads still. I know Eastman Chemical uses a lot of them. They're a part of Kodak Corporation. We see these all over New Jersey. Anybody in New Jersey knows plastic pellet cars are all over the place. You have so many different.
So it's primarily plastic pellets, but I think did they haul grain? They have different types of hatches on them and so forth.
Yeah, that's correct. So the first one we saw, the Seaboard one, that was primarily for grain service for feed mills down in the Southeast. So that car was unique. It has the grain outlets, but it doesn't have the grain hatches. It has plastic hatches for smaller grain feed mills and stuff like that. They didn't need the through hatches on some Western no names like Denver Rio Grande and Union Pacific. They would get the through hatches because they do more large feed mills and stuff like that where they're loading hundreds of cars a day. The Seaboard system, they served more co-ops and smaller farmers. So they had the porthole style hatches, as you can see on the Procore resins right here. And those little nubs on the top there, they're actually all separately applied spin wheels. So we call those the porthole hatches because they're the same portholes you'll find on a battleship or so like any merchant marine vessel. They seal airtight and keep water out and keep the dry stuff in.
Yeah, it's important to keep that stuff dry. I know for grain, certainly with corn, if there's a high water content, you get paid less as the farmer. So it's very important to keep everything dry. Now, this is a master car. So what's the difference between the master series and Trainman and so forth?
That's a good question. We love to repeat it. It's this is not just a master, it's a master plus car. So what makes it a master plus is all the different body variations. The Procore resins right here, this is the early body variation. It has an angled high sill, which is the line right at the top underneath that roof walk. You'll see some that are more perforated. Other ones are pressurized. So there's three main body styles, and then we can go into I think I put a spreadsheet together. We could do at least 21 unique variations with all the outlets and hatches and all the different variations on the details we have. So that's pretty
cool. 21 different styles. That's pretty impressive.
One mold.
So your Master Plus is really your high end on the HO side.
Yes, it's the highest we can go.
The highest you can go. Okay.
No fake road names on here. It's all prototypical stuff. It's all painfully copied from high resolution slides that we get through either generously donated to us or we purchase them on eBay ourselves, and we'll go in our Illustrator program and copy all this stuff verbatim and painstakingly double check it on all those Railroad Archive fact sheets and stuff, all the capacities and all that small data is correct.
Well, that's awesome. So there you go, folks. The first car in tonight's series. Let's move on to the next one, which will be
we got a question from Lucas here.
Oh, we have a question.
Yeah, so he wants to know what era are you showing off right now for these cars?
So these cars, they span anywhere from 1969 all the way to today. The ones built in 69, probably out of service, the early body style. But the late body style, they produced thousands of 5250s in the late 80s for plastic pellet service, and they're still out on the roads today. And we do have, in our latest release, we do have some plain American Car and Foundry leasing ones for modern guys. But the one you're looking at right now, the Procore resins, that puts you in the 69 to 75 era. There's no COTS panel on it. It's that's the as delivered paint scheme. So if you want to plug that into a late 60s or early 70s layout, fits right in.
Awesome. All righty. Up next will be another Master. Maybe this is a Master Plus. You'll have to correct me. The Multimax Auto Rack. Now, this is one cool looking car.
This is a Master, but it's built like a Master Plus. It has a scale KDs on it, 158s, I believe, and it has specifically tooled trucks just for the Multimax with 28-inch wheels, like most auto racks. And what makes these cool are you can see the little black parts above the screens there. Oops.
Oh, hold on. There we go. Sorry.
So that's actually replicating the gaskets that are on those anti-theft panels, or anti-vandal panels, as we call them. So people don't throw rocks at the new cars and whatnot and protect the load. So we got gasket detail. We got all sorts of fine printing, and I think this is another one with I believe there's 4 variations. We got the bi-level adjustable, the tri-level, and then the tri-level adjustable. And it's all sorts of like little different rivets on the side, and the Utah Central Railway road name we see here. It's a short line, but they lease cars to make their money. So you can see these Utah Central cars all over the country. I see them all the time going into the ports around New York City. Pass by Atlas all the time.
So you think they make more money leasing the cars or running on their short line railroad?
They make way more leasing these out to the big guys.
Wait, they have quite a few leaser cars, don't they? Not just this, like box cars on like center beams and stuff.
Yeah, Utah, they're pretty common. They got center beams, they got high cubes. They got tons of equipment.
What is this thing in real life? Like 93 feet? Like that thing's long.
I think 89 feet.
89 feet, yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Now it looks like we only have this Utah Central. That's what I show on my list.
This one is the last road name in stock from our last production. So
any idea when you might see more coming? More road names coming? Going to be a couple years. So if you want one of these, this is
maybe
your chance.
next year.
Yeah,
we've been collecting a few new paint schemes as we see them.
Right.
I just saw Union Pacific Multimaxes in white, so that's a new one. And so once we get enough new paint schemes, we'll do another production.
Gotcha.
And I believe there's 2 road numbers for the Utah Central in stock.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Ross. Okay. Next up, another cool car. This will be the Master Series 73-foot center partition car. And this one is available in 4 different SKUs, and I'm a little fuzzy on what these different schemes are because they look the same in the pictures that I was able to pull up. So maybe, Matt, you can shed some light on the differences between the different, maybe it's just the car numbers, the conspicuous, how do you pronounce that? Conspicuous stripes? What does that mean?
So those are the yellow stripes they slap on the side of the cars nowadays. In 2005, they started, the FRA mandated that all freight cars should have reflectors on the car ends and a few in the middle. So that way, if guys are working at night and they have a flashlight on, they hopefully won't get hit by the rolling stock going by. So this is the updated version. We've done a few runs without the conspic stripes. We like to abbreviate it because it is a tongue twister, so we call them conspic stripes. So this one's with conspic stripes, so this will put it in the era of 2005 and beyond. And this is actually the one with the forward-thinking patch. So the subtle difference in the paint scheme is one has the old TTX speed scheme, which looks like the Southern Pacific kind of speed. It's angled TTX. It has a black background on it. It's pretty iconic for TTX. And then this one has the red and brown TTX with the arrow in it, which we call the forward-thinking TTX scheme. So the differences are really minute on these cars. The logos are small on these cars, but they're important for if you're a really prototypical modeler. And you're a modern modeler, you need the constant stripes and you need the more modern logo for your layout. So this car shown here provides both of that. And
go ahead, Ross.
Oh,
you were saying?
I'm surprised we have leftovers. TTX, it's really desirable, flies off the shelves, especially the forward-thinking TTX.
And they go everywhere, right? I mean,
like absolutely, yeah, TTX is all over the
random places.
Short lines, class ones, everybody, you'll see them everywhere.
Oh, maybe not after tonight. They might be flying off the shelves there, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. All right. Another master up next, 4650 3-base Centerflow Hoppers. And quite a few different paint schemes on this one. And these are some pretty cool cars. Go ahead, Matt. What do we got?
So these are the cars that replace the 5250s for grain service. The railroads decided the 5250s is a little too heavy when you load it up with grain. So they made the 4650, which came out in the same year, but it does a better job at hauling grain. Doesn't get its weight down. It's not as long. It's got 3 bays instead of 4. And just like our 5250 model, we have different body styles. So most of these are from the early body. You see that angle up on top. This one's the co-op is a later one. You see the perforated top there, the 3 ribbons on the top underneath the roof walk. That's the most modern version. And these really do an excellent job of hauling grain. They've been hauling grain. You can see a modern one here. Union Pacific, formerly Southern Pacific. These cars are really old and they're still in service hauling grain today. Being phased out by the more modern cars, but they're still hauling, they're doing their keep. CN one's really modern too. So you got UP patch and you got the CN one for the modern guys, and then we got some old ones too.
So on this CN, which in the list, we have it listed as Wisconsin Central under the item number. So I assume that it was originally Wisconsin Central and became CN, or the other way around?
No, that's correct. It was originally Wisconsin Central. Then Canadian National bought Wisconsin Central. And some of their rolling stock they just left alone, and others they repainted. And per monopoly rules, if you don't put CN as a reporting mark, it's technically not a CN car. So they can own more Wisconsin Central cars than they can own CN. So they kept the reporting mark as Wisconsin Central, but it's really Canadian National. So it's really a tax evasion thing by the railroads.
Well, it's becoming quite confusing, I think, in the industry, because you've got a lot of heritage stuff going on as well, where you've got, whatever the modern railroad is, and then some of the older railroads that they historically absorbed. And both logos are showing up on the sides of locomotives and cars. And so it's quite the challenge to try to figure out what it is. Obviously, if you know your history, it's pretty easy to figure out. But the average schmuck sitting at a crossing, he's not going to know the difference. So it's kind of cool how it's changed and gotten more elaborate from that perspective.
Yeah, and usually it's vice versa. Usually they patch out the reporting mark with their own and then leave the big logo of the former railroad on there.
Right.
But in this case, it's reverse. And Union Pacific does a lot of that too in the reverse. They'll keep SP, they'll keep the Katy marks, they'll keep the Missouri Pacific marks, all just to get around the monopoly rules.
Yeah, well, they don't want to get in trouble that way. That's for sure.
No. Nobody wants money trouble.
Nope, you don't want any of that. Now, folks, if you're interested in any of these, we do have the item number at the top of each picture. And when you go onto the website, you'll see, you'll be able to find all the other cars that are in stock for that particular class of car or their style of car. So use that website to see what all is available. I think the last car in this style is Southern Pacific. So you've got Southern Pacific represented twice. Once as a rebadged UP and once as an actual Southern Pacific, right?
Yep. So there you see the as delivered Southern Pacific versus the one we showed before, which was a patched up modern day Union Pacific, Southern Pacific model.
So I think people should get both.
Yeah. You're not a real SP fan if you don't get both.
Yeah.
Gotta get both.
Yeah. Is that what you tell them on the phone, Ross?
That's every day.
He moves the cars.
Excellent.
Never have to.
Next up, just a single skew here. This will be, whoops, I forgot about the Engelhard. That should have been up earlier.
Engelhard's a sharp looking one.
Yeah. Okay, Master single sliding door boxcar 5077, and we only have one scheme here.
With the hands.
With the hands, yeah. So what about the hands? What is all that about?
So those are all breast cancer survivors that came out and put their hands on the real freight car, and we were able to recreate this with the model. The hand work is actually incredible when you hold the model up close. I wasn't sure how the factory would print the hands. There's a lot of them, and they came out really, really nice. Each hand print's unique. It's awesome. It's a really, really cool car. Railbox and TTX, they've been doing this since, I want to say 20. They do like one a year. They paint one piece of rolling stock paint. I want to say 2015 or 2016. And this was one of the first ones. So
how many people you think got their hand on that?
Probably 50. I think there's 50 pairs of handprints on there.
That would have been a good trivia question.
That would have been. I wasn't going to count them all.
Yeah, now that's a cool looking car.
This car, these are flying pretty fast. The non-handprint version was actually supposed to appear on this until it got sold out like the week before. So this one, if you want it, I'd definitely start moving on it.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people bought the non-handprint one because maybe they thought this one was too busy looking, but this one looks amazing. Like I would, if you held out, pick up this one. It's really, really nice.
Definitely. I just bought the non-handprint one. I think I got the last one. So get the handprint one if you want it.
Yeah. And everybody loves these paint cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're cool. No doubt about it.
And you get some credit on with your lady friends. Right? Layout.
All right. Next up, Master 5503 double door boxcar, and just a couple of SKUs on this one.
There we go. So Minnesota, Dakota, and Western, they're a huge paper producer. Their high cube boxcars got the iconic pine tree logo in the right corner, but this one's a little bit earlier for them and just plain green. These were actually they actually bought these from Southern Pacific when they needed some more rolling stock. So I think that's why they didn't do the whole elaborate pine tree. These are more just paint it and get it in service. But critical for anybody with the paper plant on their model, on your layout, or you're just interested in the paper industry. These are dedicated pulpwood paper haulers, anything west of the Mississippi. These cars made their money there, serving all those paper mills.
And then you already mentioned Southern Pacific. That car came from them, and here's another one.
And here's another one. So ironically, Southern Pacific bought this one back from Golden West Service. Or UP could have bought it back. We can't tell because Union Pacific, probably Union Pacific bought this car back and put SP marks on it. It fits that error. But this is a faded car, so you see the patch is a little bit darker, and then the Golden West car it's lighter than the true Golden West blue. So this really gives it the imitation that it was baking in the sun for 10 years. And then SP put some fresh paint on the left corner. It's another one that the photo doesn't do it justice. The model looks really, really nice.
It looks really nice in person.
Yeah, I wish we had. I photographed a bunch of the models, but not some of these, so they're just pulled off the website. There are production photographs, but they're just smaller. So it would have been nice to have some bigger ones, but cool car for sure. All right, next up, another Masterline car, 50-foot single-door box car. And this one, we're going to give one away. Is that right?
Right, yeah, we're going to give one away.
So in order to do that, what we got to talk about, we got to get somebody to, really justify getting a free car. So
yeah,
we want to ask some trivia. So what's the trivia question for somebody that wants to win one of these? And which one are they going to win?
They're going to win the Halloween edition of this car.
Okay, so the one we've got on screen right now is the
4th of July edition.
Okay, so let's see the Halloween one.
The Halloween one has really nice graphics as well. And superior doors.
Yeah. Here we go. Patience is a virtue.
There we go.
There we go.
We have a chance to actually win the one pictured. This is our marketing sample.
How'd you get him to give away a Masterline car? Oh my.
I was persuasive.
Ah.
And it's, it's right in time for Halloween. So without further ado, you guys get ready in the comment section. We want to know who knows when Atlas was originally founded. Not Atlas Model Railroad, but Atlas Tool and Die. So the whole Stephen Chafin Senior's shebang, when was Atlas Tool and Die formed?
Now, do they need to know the month and day and year, or just the year?
We'll do just the year. It's a tough question.
All right.
Yeah, I got him coming in right now. We'll see. We'll wait maybe a minute or two. We'll see if we get a little more.
It's been a long time, right?
It's a long time. I could hint at an anniversary, but don't want to say too much.
So longer than me.
Yes, I think longer than maybe all of us combined. Oh, I think I see it. Ross, you want me to show it?
Yeah, I'm getting. Yeah, you might as well show the first one. 19. There you go.
My Life's Tracks from YouTube.
1924.
1924.
100th
First
anniversary.
7:27 p.m.
So My Life's Tracks. If you send us a private message on either the YouTube channel or on Facebook with your preferred shipping address, please send that and we'll get you squared away, and your email address too. Be great.
That's awesome. All righty, cool beans.
I love giving stuff away. It makes everybody happy. It makes us happy, It's a fun thing to do.
It is fun to do. And that's a cool looking car. Now this thing's kind of cool. I didn't know that this type of accessory was available, but this is a cool thing. Tell me about this.
Oh, so this is our little box trailer. These are actually ultra cool. This is the only one we have left in stock, which imitates like if we had a show trailer. Or if you have a hobby shop on your layout or something, or if you want to imitate, the Atlas warehouse, you can put this on the side. So it's a really neat little model. You've got the Atlas, it's actually decorated very similar to our box truck that we use for shows. And if you come to York, you won't see it this year, but traveling a little lighter. But we used to take the box truck to York all the time, and it kind of looks similar to this. So these are really neat. It's a nice little accessory.
The feature list says that it can freestand, and so that would be that rear post, I guess, is adjustable, so it can sit by itself.
Yeah, so you can make it level, or you can hook it up onto a little HO scale pickup truck or something.
Right. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and again, that's HO scale. We got a comment asking little HO scale trailer.
Everything in tonight's live show is HO.
Yep, it's HO.
Little tiny.
Ross got it.
Oh, come on. I gotta
You're
have
holding on us, man.
Wow.
It's there, man. It's there.
It is cool.
All righty. Neat stuff. All right. Now a Trainman, 40-foot plug door box car. So Trainman, the differences between that and Master are what?
So Trainman's a little bit more robust, less separately applied parts. Same graphics and print jobs all the same, but just this car here, it's 3 pieces. You got the underbody, main body, and then the roof walk. So just more robust, more you can let your kids mess around with it, and they won't break off all the intricate details and stuff like that. And it's good for novices, anybody starting out. It's more affordable as well. The MSRP price point's lower. Of course, with lower MSRP, the dealers will discount it much lower. So it has enough detail for even the more serious guys. I mix them into my trains all the time. If you run big trains, you can squeeze them in. We have some really nicely detailed Trainman cars as well. So I like the Trainman line. Affordable, it's good for everyone. We get to do fun things like this.
Well, I think one of the important things about the model railroading hobby is that it allows people to get in at different levels. And a lot of folks will start at a level like Trainman, or even, back in the day, you had, the lifelike train sets that were not particularly very good, but that's how you got into the hobby, right? The HO scale. And, and then as you became more discerning, if you will, you might start looking at the detail levels that are lacking on some of the lower price models. And I think Trainman's kind of, it might be a slight step down from Master, but it's still to scale. It's got the detail level in there, but it may be molded in as opposed to separate applied parts that allows it to be more robust, as you mentioned. But it's important to have this kind of stuff in the product line because it allows people to get introduced to the hobby. And that's, everybody's about trying to get people into the hobby. And it's done very well over the years. Just with COVID, I think model railroading has done super well because folks had to do something different. And this is a great product for allowing that to happen.
Yeah, it allows everybody to get involved. I know some of our more serious guys knock the Trainman and even the other manufacturers' economy lines, but it's necessary. You can't forget everybody starts somewhere.
Yep.
When I was a kid, I didn't buy any of the high level freight cars just because I wanted to save my money for locos, and if I spent money on freight cars, it couldn't happen. So I was all Trainman and more wallet friendly type of stuff.
There you go. Oh, neat stuff though. Neat stuff. All right, another Trainman item coming up. 70-ton 3-bay open hopper. And this one we're going to give away as well. Which one did you say we were going to give away? Western Maryland, I think.
We're going to give away the Western Maryland scheme.
Okay. So before we get to the giveaway, well, actually, yeah, go ahead and tell us a little bit about the car. And when we get to Western Maryland, I'll hold up and we'll do a trivia question.
All right. So these are ACF's post-war coal hauler. Before World War II, there was a lot of 2-bays, tinier, and then steel production as well as welding, riveting got more advanced through World War II, so they can make coal cars haul a higher capacity. So this was the birth of the larger coal cars. Really one of the first large capacity coal cars.
So, and despite this being Trainman, some of these cars have different end sills on them, it looks like.
Yeah, so
peaked end and a flat end.
Even though it's Trainman, we have the peaked end for quicker loading. And then we have the flat ends, more generic, dump it all at once. And even we have different trucks. So the Western Maryland you see here, it's got roller bearing trucks, while some other road names had friction bearing trucks. So even though it's Trainman, we still pay attention to those little details. And it's a really good replica of you need a lot of these. I don't know. Like I see some other people pumping out HO coal cars for $50+ and if you want to do a unit train, you also have to be a little bit reasonable too.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Because, a unit train is a lot of cars, right? So, and these are pretty affordably priced at $35.95 for MSRP. So that's a good deal. And removable coal load. So if you don't want them all to be full, you can take it out, right?
Yep. So if you want to run them empty one way and then run them back full the other way, you can plop out that coal load nice and easily. Pretty easy.
All right, so we're going to give this away. So what are we going to ask the viewers on this one?
So I was thinking, since it's a Western Maryland car, we'll do a Western Maryland question. We'll go with what railroad was the Western Maryland absorbed into?
Absorbed into.
Yes.
Okay.
Or should I
can
say
see this being a quick one. Let's see.
Yeah.
It should be. We need the.
There we go. What do we got?
Lucas
right here.
Yeah. Good one.
Ding, right there. Oh, there they go.
We didn't have to play the. What's the theme music for the game show? The one with Alex Trebek.
Jeopardy.
Rest his soul. Yeah, we didn't have to play the music.
Cheapy system.
Okay, yeah. So Lucas, you just need private messages, right?
Yep. So Lucas, you through Facebook, send us a private message with your preferred shipping address and email.
All right, good job, Lucas. All right, a couple more schemes in this style car. Reading and Virginian. Two different cars.
The Reading one's a late one.
That's a late one?
Yeah, so anytime you see those panels with the little data on the right side, that means it's 76 or later. Or in that case, probably 74. Some railroads adopt them earlier.
So not exactly right around the corner in terms of time, still 50 years.
Yeah. Yeah, these are old.
Yep. Yeah, for sure.
They had a good lifespan for I think made in the late 40s and lasted all the way. Conrail uses them occasionally, so most of them were scrapped by the 80s.
Okay, next up, Evans 52-foot Gondola, also in the Trainman line.
Yep, another nice Trainman car, and you can see the decoration on the Bethlehem steel there. Really cool. So what we did with the Bethlehem steel car here was this is actually I don't want to call it fake, but what could have been if Bethlehem Steel decided to purchase some gondolas. This is we used real COTS panel, real reporting marks from the real Evans Gone cars. So it's not just like we slapped Bethlehem Steel on there. We took our time, kind of wanted to use our creative freedom, but with accuracy to what these would have looked like. And I think it's a pretty cool replica.
Some historical fiction.
Yeah, exactly. We're big fans of historical fiction at Atlas.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. I always say that if you can do some cars that will attract attention to somebody who may not be in the hobby or may not be interested in a particular car style, but sees that deco, then do it. And because they'll sell, and they'll sell in a quantity that justifies it. And again, it's all about trying to appeal to more people. The more we can do that, the stronger this hobby is.
And here's a prototypical one. So the thing about the prototypical cars is they're very plain for the Evans Gons. It's mostly black with some reporting marks. Some railroads had some billboard ones, but for the most part, Evans did the decoration. Like here, you see the ICG and the Bangor and roof stick are exactly the same besides the reporting mark. Evans company laid it out for them. The Job X, that's a new one. And this is actually, they haul radioactive waste, so it's kind of cool.
The Job X or this one?
This one, the MH Logistics Solutions. So they got gondolas and then like trash containers, and they all hold Superfund site waste.
Gotcha.
So they're just made to haul the most contaminated of the contaminated. So these gondolas, while they're not exactly an Evans Gon, they're kind of a hybrid, very similar to it, but they're loaded with contaminated dirt from Superfund sites. And they got a cool logo and they're gray and they're different. So, and then the Bethlehem Steel, my favorite. Had a bunch of family that worked at Bethlehem Steel.
Did you?
Yeah, mom's side. Shout out to Uncle Joe. U.S. Steel, Pittsburgh crowd will like that.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Steelers had a big win last night. And Norfolk Southern, this one's pretty cool. Norfolk Southern built tons of gondolas in-house out of bulkhead flats made to haul logs. So the Southern company is one that bought the bulkhead flats in the first place. But by the time Norfolk Southern, the log hauling business for railroads was really deteriorating. So what they did was they add panels to the sides to haul, like, so ties wouldn't fall out. So they converted them to tie cars, and that's what this paint scheme is based off of. So it's closer to the prototype.
And they just did that in the shops, so they weren't manufactured like a normal car would have been.
Yeah, no, they were done in their own shops. So you can see they have little wonky welds and stuff, and
right.
They did what they had to do.
Yeah, neat.
Good
stuff.
character.
Okay, next up, another Trainman PS2 two-bay covered hopper.
PS2s. So these are the original, like flour, high density, heavy products that you want hauled type of car. That like first of its kind, really. Right here you see sand service, so high density, heavy sand. But they'd even carry flour and grain, and it's a little overkill for grain. You know, you can make a bigger car. Here we see another sand car. The railroads love using these later on for sand service. I think we have 4 sand cars in this run. So if you have a diesel facility, these would be laid up on a siding right next to the diesel facility, and they would take sand out of them, and it's a cheap way for the railroads to move sand around. Smith Douglas fertilizer. So fertilizer is another high density, heavy product that you need a little car to haul, because if you make it a big car, it's going to fall apart.
And the fidelity looks pretty good despite being a Trainman.
Yeah, so this one started as a master. Well, this is one of our oldest cars. It actually started in the Atlas Red box. And then for a little time period, it was Atlas Master. And then Atlas Trainman came out, and it kind of falls right into Trainman. It has good details, but it's not separately applied. And there's only one body variation of it, but it's still a really nice car. And you see, again, the friction-bearing trucks on the Burlington Northern versus the roller. I'm sorry, I got it reversed. These are roller-bearing trucks on the Burlington Northern, while the other road names had friction-bearing.
Yeah. Yeah, those are nice-looking cars, for sure.
Yeah, very solid car.
Yeah, and this BN scale monitor car is really attractive. They would use this car to roll over their scale. So when you get cars that are certain weight and certain branch lines, you need to weigh them to make sure the tracks won't bow out. So to test the scales, they would load this with tonnage that they knew what the weight was, and they'll run it over their scale test track to make sure that their scale test track is still accurate. So it's a way of gauging their scale test track. Steve likes a Guilford. Love the Guilford. It's all about the big G.
The G.
All right, next up, Trainman ACF 50-foot 6-inch box car.
Hey, this is a Steve Woodward run.
Okay. Project Manager Steve.
Shout out to Steve. All right. So these are pretty cool. Steve did the Union Pacific patch here. And then there's the Katie remarks, BKTY. So it doesn't say UP, but it's still a Union Pacific car. And I got this model actually at home. It came out really nice. And the fidelity on this is really nice for a Trainman as well. Burlington Northern, your generic BN green, your 90s or early 2000s guy, you need that. Same here with the CN. CN use these in paper service all the time. CSX, these are still on the road today. I shoot these all the time. Yeah. They love their single door box cars for some reason. All the other railroads tend to let them go, and CSX still keeps them. National Railways of Mexico, and Railbox. Railbox is always a huge seller. Everybody needs Railbox.
You gotta have Railbox.
Yeah, doesn't matter if you're modeling the mid 70s or today.
Can't go wrong with it. All right, last car is the 3230 covered hopper.
Yeah, it's another Master Plus.
Yeah, this is this now HO. Which line is this in? Is this the Master line?
This is the Master Plus.
Okay, so this is the deluxe. All right.
This is the deluxe. This has tons of separately applied parts. I mean, I can't imagine putting one of these things together.
Steve takes full credit for these cars.
Now, my notes say we're giving one of these away.
Oh yeah.
And which one are we going to give away?
Right here, Cargill Salt.
The Cargill Salt Row name.
Okay, so that's the last picture. So let's go through these. And what's our trivia question?
So for these, we make a larger Trinity pressure differential car as well. And we want to know from you viewers, what is the cubic foot capacity of our larger version of this car?
And go.
So what's the big brother that we also manufacture of this car? We're just looking for a cubic foot capacity. This one might.
Oh, come on,
Steve.
Steve, he can't. No, didn't he get the memo?
He has 80. He wants 81, so it's fine.
Oh, you want? All right. I have a different question then. We're gonna change it up, guys.
Oh, we're changing it up.
Oh man.
You can take one later or company discount. We'll change it up. So who was the original designer of these cars? It's produced. So our model is made by Trinity, but another rail car manufacturer actually designed this car, and Trinity bought the design from them.
Okay, so you want the rail car manufacturer name, not the engineer himself.
Yeah, Adam just nailed it.
We're starting getting right here.
I thought it would take a while.
Nah, he wants the car.
We got a freight car enthusiast amidst us. So yep,
that's our winner, Adam.
Yep,
Adam's the winner. Thrall was the original designer. So Adam, PM us your preferred shipping information and your email address.
Steve says good job.
Steve threw me through a loop. I had to come up with another question on the spot.
Yeah, I know, on the fly. Good job, though.
Yeah, nicely done.
All right, I got Adam's car right here. It's coming.
That's all from the project manager.
All righty. So that's the end of the cars. We have some track, and the track. Everything going good with track, right? We're not having any issues.
Track's the bread and butter. Everybody loves Atlas track.
And you need track accessories, bridge piers.
Best way to get started with Atlas track.
What's the grade on that pier set?
Ooh, that's a good trivia question.
I didn't mean to call you out.
I got all this rolling stock knowledge in my head. It's hard to retain all the track stuff.
It looks pretty steep.
You know what? Our salesmen are actually really well versed in the track.
Yeah.
6.
They put the R&D guys in the game. They know all the item numbers, and they're crazy with track, our guys.
Bread and butter. Gotta love the track.
Through Trust Bridge kit. It's actually a pretty nice kit.
Now that's a kit, right?
That is a kit, but it's a snap together kit. You don't need to glue it. You can glue it if you want to, but it goes together nicely just by snapping it. Really cool truss. Mimics things you see all across.
And this is a kit as well, right?
This is a kit as well, the classic Warren Truss Bridge kit. It's one of Atlas's original bridges, and it still holds up today. And you see them on branch lines and smaller railroads across the country as well. What else do we have?
I think
the last thing was the water tower.
Oh, the water tower.
The water tower.
Now, is that a kit?
This is a kit.
Yes.
Kit, yeah.
But it's not as hard as it looks.
What?
It's not as hard as to assemble.
Okay.
It's an intricate kit for when it came out, but
it's a good looking kit too.
Yeah, no, it still stands today. It's a great little kit.
So how long has it been in the Atlas line, this kit?
I think this has been in the line since the late 60s, I want to say. Especially that trackside shed.
Yeah.
And shanty. That's what we call it, the shanty.
Shanty.
But no, it's still a great kit. No, I think it's. Do you know what type of water tower that is? Is it Pennsylvania style or is it Lehigh Valley?
To me, it looks like PRR, but I think Mr. Steve would know better than I.
Yeah.
He's conveniently bailed out of the conversation.
I know, right? Right when we need him.
Yeah, no. A lot of our stuff is based off of Lehigh Valley and CNJ, and just being in proximity we are to those rail lines.
All right. Any other notes from the viewers out there, Ross, that we need to answer?
Well, we got a couple questions since Mr. Matt's here on the Metro cars, since everybody's been clamoring about them. Do you have an update on the Metro cars coming in?
I do, but people probably missed this because it was also I gave the update during our catalog drop last month.
Right.
We're finishing up work on the light boards for it, and that's really all the factory's waiting for, and then they'll go into assembly and then they'll send them over to us. So we're near the end. Hopefully before the end of the year or early next year, we'll see them stateside.
All right. End of the year, early next year. With that, there's somebody there. We got some people asking about the certain New Jersey Transit Alps and maybe some passenger cars. Is there anything coming in the pipe for that anytime in the future?
Possibly. We're working on transit with some things. So we'll see what we come up with. I know everybody's clamoring for that veterans unit with the rock flag and eagle on it. I like to call it the rock flag eagle unit.
Screaming eagle. Yeah.
We'll have to work out some licensing. Hey, Kim. Kim's our office manager. Give her a little shout out. But no, we're working on some new Alps.
Look busy. Kim's here.
Yeah. It's the Atlas motto. She keeps us all in line.
There you go. All righty. Well, this has been fun, guys.
Just one last
the next big thing from Atlas will be the O-Scale book next month, right?
Yes. So just want to answer this one question before we dive into our York pregame. We just got samples of these, so they'll be on the water soon. So you can anticipate receiving that soon.
I mean, that was like this week, right? Like the other day.
That was like today. Yeah.
You showed me today on your desk. So those look pretty good.
All right, Andy. Let's move forward with
Well, just folks who are into O-Gauge, that O-Scale catalog will be out next month, and the three of us again will be at the York TCA meet. You do not have to be a Train Collectors Association member to attend that meet in York, Pennsylvania. So feel free to come out if you want. The public days are Friday and Saturday. We'll be there, and we'll probably put Ross through some sort of shenanigans, just
some sort of hazing ritual.
Right.
Something. I'm looking forward to. Let's see how it goes.
You'll have a blast.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. And this has been fun, guys. I appreciate you helping me out. And folks, again, any of the products that you saw today, you can go and replay this on the YouTube channel and Facebook channel. The item numbers are in the videos. So use the website, see your local dealer. Don't hesitate to pick these things up. They will not last long. There'll be more product coming to fill the shelves back up, but we wanted to give you a chance to see what we've got in stock right now as the season kicks off. Fall is Saturday.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm still wearing shorts though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Till the very end.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly. All right, folks. Good to see everybody. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
See you later.